Right, Shalom, Shalom, where the Hebrew Israelites here to speak about the prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom, speak about the upliftment and return of Yahweh Shai, the Lord, all right, to bring back his people, all right, above their enemies, all right. So first and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor
to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, HaKadosh.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much over respect to you. I came out there pushing this word out, the truth and sincerity. This is the English segment now, all right. Go ahead and get Jude, the first chapter.
The book of Jude, verse 1, Jude, the servant of Yahweh Shai, Hamashayat, and brother of James, to them that are sanctified by Yahweh.
Which Jude was Yahweh Shai's actual blood brother, all right, blood brother. Go ahead.
To them that are sanctified by Yahweh the Father, and preserved in Yahweh Shai, Hamashayat, and called, mercy unto you, and peace, and love be multiplied. Beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the coming salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that you should earnestly contend for the faith.
And that's what we do. When we come out here, we contend for the faith. All right? So when you got people come up with different doctrines, all right, we cut it with the scriptures. Okay? We don't come out of our own heart. We come out directly out of the book. All right? So we can contend for the faith. Defend the gospel. Go ahead.
Which was once delivered unto the saints. For there are certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation.
Right, so when there's people that come in and then they leave the truth, all right, those people were just already ordained for condemnation, man. All right, you see? So you got brothers that stay in here, right, and they go into the end, and those are the elect. Those are the ones that were chosen, but the ones that fall off, those are the ones that the Lord didn't want. Go ahead.
Ungodly men. It says, turning the grace of our power into lasciviousness, and denying the only Lord Yahweh and our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashayat.
Right. So when you leave the truth, you come in the truth and you leave, you deny the Lord Yahweh Shai. All right, who died on the cross for the elect, really for the whole nation of Israel. Okay. Notice I said nation of Israel. It's not for any other nation. All right, but guess what? When you come into this truth, that he died to give you that truth, man, that you can understand that. All right. But if you go back into the world, that means you're denying the Lord. Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 2 and verse 19. They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us.
That meaning what? They were not of the elect. Okay, they were not chosen. All right, that's why they fell off. Okay, go ahead.
But they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us. Jude, verse 5.
You got that though? Let's read that.
Hebrews 4 and verse 2. For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them.
Right, they're hearing it. You have a bunch of Israelites passing by. They're hearing the gospel. They're hearing the truth. All right, the true gospel. All right, but it was preached unto us the same way, right? But go ahead.
But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it.
Right, they didn't have the gift of faith, so they couldn't receive this truth, man. You have to have that seed to begin with. If you don't got that seed, right, then you can't understand this truth, right? Even though you're hearing the truth, okay? You got something else? Go read that.
Hebrews 11 and verse 6. But without faith, it is impossible to please Him.
And without faith, you can't please the Lord, man. All right, you can't please Yahweh Shai without faith, okay? That's why He always cursed out the disciples, saying, "O ye of little faith." All right, go ahead.
For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that He is, and that He is a rewarder to them that diligently seek Him.
Right, and we're the ones that are diligently seeking the Lord the right way, okay? Because we're actually going into the entirety of the book, okay? We're not just dealing with just the New Testament or just the love scriptures. We're dealing with the whole entirety of the book, okay? Go ahead.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 6. Not as though the word of Yahweh has taken on effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel.
Right, meaning what? That we're pushing the word out, but it's not like the word is taking on effect. The Lord said, my word does not return unto me void. It's going to accomplish that which He chose for it to accomplish, man. Right. All right? Matter of fact, you can bring that out too. All right? But you see, there's certain Israelites that are not going to make it. All right? The majority of our people are not going to make it. Even though it's for you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, that are scattering around. All right? The majority have to go. Okay? Because the majority are tied to this man, to this devil, to this Edomite. Okay? So it's mind, body, and soul. For real. All right? That's why they take onto his philosophies and his science and all all his ways that he taught them, all right, while they were in slavery, they take on to that way, okay? Instead of taking on to the way that the Lord gave us, man, the true way, the right way of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Go ahead, what you got?
This is Romans 9:27. Isaiah also cried concerning Israel, though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved.
A remnant, only a small amount of the nation. And if only a small amount of Israel is going to be saved, how the heck could a heathen be saved, man, of another nation? Of course not, man. The Lord is only dealing with the nation of Israel, but he's only dealing with a certain portion. Give me Zechariah 13:8.
Zechariah 13 and verse 8. And it reads, and it shall come to pass that in the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die.
Two parts meaning what? The 2/3 that we always mention. The 2/3. Go ahead.
But the third shall be left therein. I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried, and they shall call on my name, and I will hear them, and say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power.
Right, the Lord is my power. Right, read that again, that last part.
Come, I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power.
Right, the Israelites, man. Okay, they're going to be delivered, man. They're the elect of the nation of Israel, the chosen amongst our people, man. Not all of them, man. All right, because the majority of them are gone, man. Okay, completely out of here, man. All right.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and 9. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah.
Right, and what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah, man? All right? They were completely destroyed. When you go there right now, it's full of sulfur. All right? They found that land. It's full of sulfur, man. All right? Because why? It was destroyed with fire and brimstone, man. That's actual historical fact. But guess what? The nation of Israel, our people would have been like that if he didn't leave back a remnant. But he left a remnant, man. Okay? Because what's going to happen with the remnant? The remnant's going to bring back the rest of the nation. Okay? You got something? What you got?
John 6 and 60. Many therefore of his disciples, when they heard this saying, said, this is a hard saying. Who can hear it? When Yahushua knew in himself that his disciples murmured at it, he said unto them, does this offend you? What if ye shall see the Son of Man ascend up where he was before? It is the Spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. But there are some of you that believe not. For Yahushua knew from the beginning who they were that believed not.
Right, because it was in their spirit to go off, man, not to follow him, man. They weren't of his sheep, right? But the sheep, it says the sheep hear my voice, man. Okay? Keep going.
And who shall betray him? And he said, therefore, I say unto you, that no man can come unto me except it were given of him, except it were given unto him of my Father. From that time, many of his disciples went back.
Judas Iscariot, he allowed him to follow, although he knew from the beginning he wasn't of the chosen. You see what I'm saying? So even though he was in the truth, he was not of the chosen. Go ahead.
From that time, many of his disciples went back and walked no more with him. Then said Yahushua unto the 12, will ye also go away? Then Simon Peter answered him, Lord, to whom shall we go? Thou hast the words of eternal life.
See, so Peter knew in the spirit that was the Messiah, man, regardless of the fact, man. All right? Those were hard sayings he couldn't understand at the time, but he knew that was the Messiah. And what he said, what the Lord said, was nothing more than a stumbling block. Okay? And the scriptures is full of stumbling blocks. All right? We're a stumbling block. Okay? They'll get tripped up at the garments, they'll get tripped out at the hard speeches. All right? And then what? They won't receive the truth. Okay? But that's to their own destruction. Go ahead.
And we believe and are sure that thou art Hamashiach, the Son of the living power.
Yeah.
And Yahushua answered them, have I not chosen you 12? And one of you is a devil.
That's it. That's it. Right? What you got? What?
This is 1 Corinthians 1 and verse 27. But the Most High hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise.
Right, this is the foolish things of the world. This is why it's a stumbling block. Because it looks like it's like a lowly gathering, right? It's a stumbling block to the people. That's how the Lord brings them about. And, what came you out to see? All right, even with John the Baptist, he came out like a madman to these people. All right, because the way he was living in the wilderness, okay, he was wearing a rough garment. You see, so there were certain people that couldn't accept that. They were looking for some pristine look. No, the prophets never came pristine. What you got, bro?
1 Corinthians 1:27, but the Most High hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise.
Yep.
And the Most High hath chosen.
Because even if a scholar comes up, they can't deal with us with the Bible. Top scholar in a university, they can't deal with us in the Bible. They've tried, all right, and they can't win because the Holy Spirit is guiding us. All right? No matter how much degrees you got, we have the top wisdom on the planet Earth. Man. All right? Go ahead.
And the Most High hath chosen the weak things of the world to confine the things which are mighty.
Right, and Esau's mighty. So the so-called white man, the Edomites, they got the power. Esau, the Most Heavenly Father gave them the power. Okay? You see what I'm saying to you? But guess what? The Israelites, which are on the bottom right now, they're confounding them through the Spirit. Okay? Go ahead.
And the base things of the world and the things which are despised hath the Most High chosen.
And the things which are despised, the base things, the things which are despised, are not the jakes despised in this community, in this society? Absolutely, man. No matter where you go in this earth, man. See, but guess what? Those are the children of the Most High. Get me Wisdom of Solomon, 5th chapter. Go ahead.
Yea, the things which are not, to bring to naught the things that are, that no flesh should glory in his presence.
Woo, and that's all for it. So no flesh could glory, man. The Lord is going to bring us up out of that low state because guess what? No one could glory from that. You can't say it was yourself, it was Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Read that Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him.
And that's what we're doing. We're standing in great boldness before their face, man. All right, we're telling them to their face their judgment, man. All right, we ain't behind the computer screen. We're out in the open, man. All right, through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Go ahead.
And made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
Well, and they're troubled with terrible fear. That's why they're setting up this propaganda right now. They're in great fear, seeing the men of the Lord rise up, man. Seeing the men of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the nation of Israel, rise up, the true nation of Israel, the true Yasher Allah, man. Go ahead.
And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for.
And it's going to be far beyond. It's going to be far out. All right, the deliverance is going to be far out. Okay, what you got?
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 8 and verse 14. And he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling, and for a rock of offense, to both the houses of Israel, for a gin and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And many among them shall stumble and fall and be broken and be snared and be taken.
Right, there's all kinds of stumbling blocks, man. But the scriptures say what? If you fall out of this truth, you're done. All right? You're done. If you fall out of this truth, there's no coming in and coming out. This is not, you can't play hopscotch with the Heavenly Father, man. All right? You see? He said a man put his hand to the plow is now, and looking back is not worthy for the kingdom of heaven, man. So when you come into this thing, you better know what you're doing, man. And you better count that cost, man. All right? What you got?
2 Peter 2 and verse 20. For if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge of our Lord and Savior Yahushua, they are again entangled therein and overcome, the latter end is worse with them than the beginning.
Right, because you come into this truth, you have a demon on you. All right, but then that demon is exercised, it leaves, and then you come into the truth and you're clean. All right, but then when you go back into the world, you get more demons on you, man. Than even the beginning. Go ahead.
For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than after they have known it to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. But it has happened unto them according to the true proverb, the dog is turned to his own vomit again, and the soul that was washed to her wallowing in the mire.
Right, because why would you turn back to the world? If you have common sense, you see there's nothing in this world. You see this world is going down. If you have eyes to see, even the heathen can see that. All right, even these people not in the truth, they can clearly see there's something going on. They're at the end, clearly. All right, so you seeing this truth and all these things are happening. You go back into the world, you got major demons on you, man. All right, what you got, bro?
Hebrew.
Yeah, hold on, I want this. You got bored with it.
6.
What you got? You don't have to. You have to. Right?
This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 3, and verse 6. And verse 5, then went out to him Jerusalem and all Judea and all the region round about Jordan, and were baptized of him in Jordan, confessing their sins. But when he saw many of the Pharisees and Sadducees come to his baptism, he said unto them, O generation of vipers, who hath warned you to flee from the wrath to come?
Right, because he's seen them and he said, they're not even, well, keep going.
It says, bring forth therefore fruits meet for repentance.
Right, so he's like, they're not even worthy of repentance, man. They're not even worthy to be delivered, man. You see? The only ones that's worthy to be delivered was those that were chosen from the beginning. But you have that one blown in the river. Blown in the river. You got it. Read it if you have it. Okay, before it.
Hebrews 6 and 4. For it is impossible for those who were once enlightened and have tasted the heavenly gift and were made partakers of the Holy Spirit, and now have tasted the good word of the Most High and the powers of the world to come, if they shall fall away, to renew them again unto repentance, seeing they crucified them to themselves the Son of the Most High of flesh.
So that's like crucifying Yahushua again. All right, when you come into the truth and you leave again. All right, going back to that dirt that you were in, that filth. Okay, see what I'm saying? But guess what? If they came in and they left, they were never worthy for the truth to begin with. Go ahead.
And put him to an open shame.
Right, that's it. All right.
This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 11 and verse 7. And as they departed, Yahushua began to say unto the multitudes concerning John, what went ye out into the wilderness to see? A reed shaking with the wind? But what went ye out for to see?
Right, a reed shaking, someone weak and feeble, you know, some eloquent speaker. Go ahead.
It says, but what went ye out for to see? A man clothed in soft raiment?
Should not wear a rough garment.
Behold, they that wear soft clothing are in king's houses.
They that wear soft clothing are in king's houses. So in other words, John the Baptist was rough. Okay, he came out rough. Oh, Paul said, though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge, man. Okay, meaning what? When he spoke, riots broke out, man. Okay, so he was coming with that rough speech, man, cursing people out. Not like how they have in these churches, all soft, the men are always effeminate, man, and the women are masculine in these modern day churches, man. It's a damn backward society, man. Go ahead. Go ahead, read what you got.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, and verse 4. And it shall come to pass in that day that the prophet shall be ashamed, every one of his vision, when he has prophesied, neither shall they wear a rough garment to deceive.
They shall not wear, because what? The prophets came in rough garments. They came rough. They didn't come all effeminate and weak. They were rough, manly men. All right? Not like what you see today, man. You see what I'm saying? What you got, bro?
This is Ezekiel 18 and verse 24. But when the righteous turneth away from his righteousness and cometh iniquity, and doth according to all the abominations that the wicked man doeth, shall he live? All his righteousness that he hath done shall not be mentioned, and his trespass that he hath trespassed, and his sin that he hath sinned, and then shall he die.
Well, that's it. All right? That's it. So when you go back, you're done. Okay, you're done. That's the bottom line. But guess what? If someone is wicked, extremely wicked, and they repent, well, they're good. As long as they remain until the end. See? What you got, brother?
I got Luke 19 and 21. For I fear thee, because thou art an austere man.
Right. The Yahushua was austere. Which means what? When you look up the word austere, it means what? Rude, all right? Strict, all right? He wasn't no one to play with, man. Right. Not like how they painted him with the long hair and the weak. Oh, my son, that feminine Edomite tone. Nah, man. Okay, it was a rough, so-called black man with white woolly hair, man. Okay? What you you got, bro? You got social part? You got something, bro? Yeah?
Jude, verse 5, I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believe not.
Yeah, so those that don't believe are going to be destroyed. Go ahead.
And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day.
Right, these angels not speaking about Satan and his gang in heaven. All right? They're ready to spray painting the walls in heaven, and then the Lord kicked them. No, that's a made up Christian fairy tale. That's speaking about us, the Israelites, man. We fell from our first estate, man. That's the what? That's the Nephilim, the powers on the earth. Then we Psalms 82, okay, 6.
Psalms 82 and verse 6. And I said, ye are, so like I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
That's right.
But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes.
Well, that's a fact, and we see that happening right now, man. We see Jake, we're all dying like men, right? Okay, but in the kingdom, we're going to be true powers again, man. Alahayim.
Right.
All right? It says that the house of David shall be as the Most High. All right? So it's going to be a whole nother level. It's not going to be like this decrepit system where Esau has to get sick. He has to get tied up to tubes in his throat, you know? Tied up to machines to live. No. All right? We're going to be completely pure. All right? We're never gonna die again. What you got, bro?
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 12 and 8. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and the feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as the Most High.
And the house of David shall be as the Most High, man. Okay? So what? So that's all powerful, man. See what I'm saying? There's nothing they could do against this, man. You see?
As the angel of the Lord before them.
That's right. All right? What?
This is Revelations 21 and verse 4. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
Right. Read that again.
Neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
That's it. All right. This former world is gonna be wiped away, man. All right. We're coming to that new world, man. That righteous rulership. Give me 2 Peter 3 and 13. Right.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 53. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality.
Right, this mortal has to put on immortality, man. You see? So meaning what? We're going to have those super bodies, man.
That's right.
All right? We're going to be able to, fly. All right? You know, we're going to be able to pick up, big objects. Right? So listen, man, it's far out. For these people, that's far out. Okay, which it is. All right?
St. Matthew 16 and 28.
Do you have that? 2 Peter? Read that.
2 Peter 3 and verse 12?
13.
Verse 13. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness.
Right, that's what we're looking for, because this place is drenched in wickedness and fraud and deceit. All right? You see? And low downness, man. All right? What you got, bro?
John 3 and 2. Beloved, now are we the Son of God, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him.
Right, we shall be like who? Like Yahweh Shai.
Right.
Okay? So when Yahweh Shai walked on water, right? Yahweh Shai should change water to wine, right? So we're going to be able to do all of that. Okay? And more. All right? So that those who see around me, they're going to be able to do that and greater, man.
That's right.
All right? There's more of that? Go ahead.
For we shall see him as he is.
Yeah, right. And let's get this glorified state, man. What you got?
This is the book of St. Matthew chapter 16 and verse 28. Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death,
There'll be some standing here that should not taste of death. Go ahead.
till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom.
Right. All right. So what's going to happen? They're going to go directly into the chariots. And when they're in the chariots, it says what? In a twinkling. Let's get that. Read that.
This is 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 51. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed.
Right. Well, we're going to be. What's going to be changed is these bodies in this thing. Also, our spirit is going to be renewed. Go ahead.
In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality.
What does corruptible mean? It means we decay, right? The bodies, they break down, all right? After a certain amount of time. You see what I'm saying? Fuck Francais. Fuck Francais.
Fuck you,
Fuck
man.
you too. Go ahead. Read.
God, this is
Francais. Speaking Franglish, man. Get the fuck out of here. Go ahead, read.
this is
Read.
First Corinthians.
Fuck Francais. Go ahead, read.
1 Corinthians 15 and verse 26. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death.
Right, the last enemy that should be destroyed is death. All right, so that's what we're gonna conquer, man, in the spirit. All right, these Edomites be crying about stupidness, man, but they go on vacation. They want people to speak other languages, though, man. Right? Don't go on vacation. They better not go on vacation nowhere, man. All right, they don't speak French in Spain. All right, go ahead, read.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14.
Idiots. Go ahead.
And verse 14, and the Most High hath both raised up the Lord, and will also raise up us by his own power.
Right. He also raised us up by his own power, man. All right? Through the Spirit. He's going to raise us up, man. And we're going to have that power as well. Yahushua's coming with ultimate power. Matter of fact, he's going to take down all these armies by himself, man. That's right. All right? Matter of fact, get me that 2 Ezra, the 13th chapter, man. That's one of my favorite verses, man. One of my favorite chapters right here. Go ahead.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 13, and verse 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose the wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof.
Yep.
And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven.
Who's that man? That's Yahushua. That's our Lord, man. Okay, he's going to come in the sky. He's going to have those thousands of heaven, those chariots following him, escorting him. Go ahead.
And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him.
Yep.
And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire.
Right, go ahead.
And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men, out of number, from the four winds of the heaven, to subdue the man.
So Yahushua's going to be killing people while he's moving, but then the army's going to come. Yo, we got to take this guy down. No, ain't going to be no taking down nothing. But listen, what it said what? All they burned that heard his voice. So there's people that's going to get destroyed before the army comes, man. You see? But they're going to be like, oh, we need backup. All right, we need to all join together to fight against it. That's what's going to happen. Go ahead.
And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men, out of number, from the four winds of the heaven.
Right, could have been 100,000, could have been a million. It's going to be World War III going on, so it's going to be a lot of armies coming to it. Go ahead.
To subdue the man that came out of the sea.
Right.
But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew upon it.
Yep.
But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven.
Where that's a chariot. It was so big that he described it as a mountain. It was an actual chariot that he was riding. Go ahead.
But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo,
well, of course they're going to be afraid. They're going to see a so-called black man in the sky with power, all right, and angelic power. They'll pick up the side of Yahushua's about hold that up, all right? You're going to see him in the sky with power, all right, in his glory, okay? And what's going to happen? They're going to get scared because they're looking for an Edomite, a so-called white boy, don't come in soft and, oh, my son. No, you're going to see an angry so-called black man. Read the day of vengeance, birth in my heart. Get that. Read, go ahead.
All they which were gathered together to subdue him
Yep.
were sore afraid, and yet durst fight.
Right.
And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
So that was a great fire blast he sent on those people. He didn't come to give them hugs. All right? He didn't come, oh, my sons. No, he came and destroyed them. Keep going.
And they were all mixed together.
Yep.
The blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest.
Yep.
And fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight.
Yep.
And burned them up every one.
So he burned that whole great multitude up. That's what he's going to burn, that whole great multitude up. This is a prophecy, man. This is prophecy that we're reading right now. Go ahead.
So that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke.
So it turned into dust. Okay? You see what I'm saying? So the Lord's coming with that power. So guess what? If we're going to be like him, we're going to have that power too.
That's right.
All right?
When I saw this, I was afraid.
What you got, brother?
Isaiah 63.
Keep that up for a bit, brother. Keep that up for a bit.
Isaiah 63 and verse 4. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeem is come.
Yep. Yep, go ahead.
This is Micah. This is Micah
The
7.
day of vengeance, that was the Lord speaking. He said the day of vengeance is in his heart, man. So he's thinking about 2,000 years ago. What happened to him, man? All right? He got crucified. He's still thinking about that. He's still mad about that. Okay? So ultimately, what is 100 years ago? What is 200 years ago? The Lord's still thinking, of course he's thinking about that. That's fresh in his mind. If he's thinking about 2,000 years ago, you see? So don't listen to these Edomites, man. The Lord is coming to bring vengeance, man. Go ahead. Oh, they that's pierced him. Give me that. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah 10 and verse 17. And the light of Israel shall be for a fire, and his Holy One a flame. And it shall burn and devour his thorns and his briars in one day, and shall consume the glory of his forest and of his fruitful field, both soul and body, and they shall be as when a slender bearer fainted, and the rest of the trees of his forest shall be few, and that the children may write them.
Read that again. Read that again. Where's the point? Read that point.
God, Isaiah 10 and verse 17. And the light of Israel shall be a fire, and his Holy One a flame, and it shall burn and devour his thorns and his briars in one day.
Well, that's not necessarily. Go ahead. What you got?
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. And Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so,
Yeah, they're all going to see him, man. All right? Even the ones that pierce him. So he still has a grudge about that, man. About those that put that pierce in his side, man. All right? You don't think he has a grudge about what was done to his people, man? All right? The Lord is not coming to play games with you, man. He's coming to deliver his elect, all right, and destroy the heathen. All right? So these Edomites got a lot to pay for. Give me Isaiah the 63rd chapter. It's not a good time to be an Edomite. What you got? Read that.
Isaiah 66 and 16.
Yes, sir.
For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh.
Ooh, by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh. So he's coming to destroy people, man. He's coming to play games. All right? He said from the east to the west shall the slain of the Lord be. All right? And he's coming for all the enemies of Israel. All our enemies is his enemies.
That's
All
right.
his enemies is our enemies, man. You see that? Go ahead.
And the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Right, and that's the problem with our people. They don't realize they have enemies, man. You see all this wickedness that these people did to you, you don't understand that they're your enemy yet, man. You still think they're your friend. You smiling with them. That's why what happens is you go hunting or go somewhere with these Edomites, and you hear a Jake gets hanged on a tree by his so-called friends. Because he doesn't have wisdom, man. You see that? But we understand we have enemies. The Bible tells us we have enemies, man. And it tells us to never trust our enemies. Give me that in the second Ecclesiastes 12, brother. Keep on.
They that sanctified themselves and purified themselves in the garden beyond one tree in the midst, eating swine flesh.
Eating swine's flesh. What swine's flesh? That's pork. All right, the Creole, right? All that pork our people love to eat, man. All right. Guess what? The Lord doesn't like that. He's saying that He's going to find those people eating that, right? Or even mouse and all those, any abomination. Really, go ahead.
And the abomination of the mouse shall be consumed together, said the
So
Lord.
He's going to consume them. So what does that tell you? The dietary law is still in place.
That's right.
The laws of Moses is still in place. That's
right.
That the Heavenly Father gave to Moses. Go ahead.
For I know their works and their thoughts. It shall come that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory.
That's it. They're going to see the glory of the Lord.
Right.
Okay? Go ahead.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 19 and verse 11.
Yep.
And I saw heaven open, and behold, the white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True.
That's Yahweh Shai, okay? So-called black man who you England call Jesus Christ, man.
Right.
All right, coming with white woolly hair, man. All right, he's coming back with anger, man. With that white horse, which represents that chariot. He's not gonna come on an actual horse. That's just speaking about a chariot. The horse represents power. All right. That's something else.
And in righteousness he does judge and make war.
Right. If he's judging in righteousness, that means the ones that put us in captivity, guess what? They have to get paid back for that. Get that. Revelations 13 and 9.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Yep.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
What's captivity? That's slavery. All right? He that leadeth into slavery, which we know who did that, right? Go ahead.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Uh-huh.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
So you Edomites got a lot to pay for, man. All right? We keep saying it. All right? The Bible already condemns you, man. All right? So sooner or later, the judgment is coming. We see that it's building up to it right now. All right? And you can feel it. You feel it in your throat. You feel that. Go ahead.
Isaiah 63
Yep.
and verse 1. And verse 1, who is this that cometh from Edom?
Uh-oh, so the Lord's going to come back. He's going to target the Edomites. You already know who the Edomites are, right? The so-called white man, all right? The so-called white people in general, all right? That's the Edomites according to the Bible. So everyone has biblical nationality, all right? We're the Israelites, all right? One of the 12 tribes, all right? If you're a so-called black man, Latino, Native American, that means you're an Israelite, okay? From whatever respective tribe you come from. All right? If you're East Indian, you're an Elamite. Okay? For the most part. Go ahead.
Who is this that cometh from Edom
Yep.
with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore are thine red and thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the right wine fat.
Yep.
I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For
What is
as
the wine fat? The wine fat represents the people, the Edomites specifically. All right? Because they're the ones ruling this world right now. Okay? So the Lord is coming directly to deal with these Edomites. Go ahead.
for I will tread them in mine anger and trample them in my fury.
Why would he be stopping grapes with his anger and his fury? If grapes did something to him? No, it's speaking about people. These are the Edomites, man. Go ahead.
And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments.
Right, their blood. Speaking about the people, the Edomites. Go ahead.
And I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeem is come.
Right, because he's still mad about what happened to him, and he's mad about what you did to his people. Oh, you have forwarded the affliction. All right, you went, the Lord, you went overboard, man. You Edomites, you cut off all pity, man. All right, so the Lord is going to cut off all pity from you. See that? Oh, shall be no mercy shall be shown to them that show no mercy. All right, but you got some, Shaqua? You got you holding some precepts? What you
It's
got?
the book of Amos, chapter 1, and verse 11. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof.
Also, he's not turning away the punishment of Edom. Okay, go ahead.
Because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity.
Well, that's it. We know what you devils did, man. All right, you done destroyed our people, man. Okay. and really the world in general. So he said, what? You cast off all pity. Go ahead.
And his anger did tear perpetually,
Yep.
and he kept his wrath forever.
He still has his wrath now. Okay, the people in the Middle East, they're getting destroyed, man. Afghanistan is known as what? The graveyard of kingdoms because of what these Edomites did, man. They didn't go, they went over there, they're coming to help. They murdered hundreds of thousands of people, man. I'm talking about women and children. I'm not talking about army people. I'm talking about women and children and men that have nothing to do with it. All right? Go ahead.
That's it on that.
That's it on that?
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 1 and 15. And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction.
Right. So he was a little displeased with who? His people. Okay, keep going on that.
It reads on, verse 16. Therefore, thus said the Lord, I am returned to Jerusalem with mercies. My house shall be built in it, said the Lord of hosts.
So he's returning where with mercies? To Jerusalem, to the Israelites, man. Okay? So he's coming with mercy for us. All right? He's not coming with mercy for the heathen, man, for the other nations, man. Go ahead.
And a line shall be stretched forth upon Jerusalem.
Yep.
Cry yet.
That's it. What you got, bro?
This is Psalms 98 and verse 1. Sing unto the Lord a new song, for he hath done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm hath gotten him the victory. The Lord hath made known his salvation. His righteousness hath he openly showed in the sight of the heathen. He hath remembered his mercy and his truth towards the house of Israel, and to the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of her power.
That's it. Okay? That's it. He moves his right hand. His right hand is Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and verse 13. The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war.
Yeah.
He shall cry, yea, he shall roar. He shall prevail against his enemies.
Woo. So the Lord has enemies. And guess what? Our enemies is his enemies, man. Why? Because we're his people. You see what I'm saying? So that's why he had the Philistines destroyed. He had the Egyptians destroyed. All right? He had these other nations, Moab and all these people destroyed because of his people. All right? Get me Joel, the 3rd chapter. Go ahead.
I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself.
Right, he has long time holding his peace, meaning what? You were able to do all this wickedness on the earth, and the Lord didn't really move yet. But now he's starting to move. Go ahead, and it's going to be bad. It's going to get bad out here.
That's right. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. I will make waste mountains and hills,
Yep.
and dry up all their herbs. And I will make the rivers islands, and I will dry up the pools.
Right. Meaning what? That nuclear destruction, man. All right? That's coming. All right? America's going to be destroyed by nuclear fire, man. That's biblical prophecy, man. In World War III. See? Got something else? Go ahead, brother. Joel 3, yeah, start at 1. Yeah.
Joel 3 and verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel.
So the reason he's gathering them for World War III is to plead for his people, man. All right? So that's showing you the Lord only cares about the Israelites, man. You don't care about any other nation, man. All right? Or we have not dealt so with any other. Go ahead.
Whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
Yep.
And they have cast lots for my people.
Right, when you look at the transatlantic slave trade, we went into all over the world, man. You see? Went to Europe, India, we went to a lot of places, man. Okay? Went a lot of places, man. Even more than what they show you even on that map. Go ahead.
And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink.
Yep, that's slavery. That's slavery right there. Go ahead.
Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon,
Yep.
and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, Swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head.
Right, those are the heathen that helped Esau. Okay, they're going to get judged for that too. Go ahead.
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians.
So he sold the children, our people, to the Grecians, meaning what? The Edomites, the so-called white people. All right, this is biblical prophecy, man. All right, really now it's history, but back then it was prophecy. All right, go ahead.
That ye might remove them far from their border.
Right, where's our border? In the eastern hemisphere. Now we're in the western hemisphere as a people. All right, go ahead.
Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither you have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head.
Right, he's raising us up now through the Spirit. Okay,
That's right.
Those dead bones are being revived. Okay, through the Spirit. So what? Now we know the truth. All right, and now we're back with our power. All right, and there's power with that. Okay, there's major power with that. All right, go ahead. If the Most High is with you, who can be against you, man? No weapon against thee shall prosper. We're already, listen, the elect already has that, man. You see what I'm saying? They come up, man. That's a threat to their own life. Remember that guy came up there and talked about he's an amateur boxer. You could be a pro boxer. That ain't gonna help you.
Right.
You can't outbox the angels, bro.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You can't jab the angels and go into the south. No, you can't do none of that. Go ahead.
Verse 8, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children
I
of
will sell
Judah.
your sons and your daughters. That's payback, baby. You see, most of our people ain't looking for that because their mind is messed up, man. Too much Edomite supremacy on the TV to mess their minds up, man. Okay? But guess what? The men of the Lord, the elect, are looking for this. Go ahead, read that again.
Come on, Joel 3 and verse 8. And I will sell your sons.
And I will sell your sons, go ahead,
and your daughters.
and your daughters, go ahead.
Into the hand of the children of Judah.
That's it. So we're going to get the payback, baby. That's in the Bible. That's the prophecy of the Bible. Prophecies in the Bible, I should say.
That's right.
Okay? It's all about the payback of our people, the Israelites, man. Okay? So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. The 12 tribes scattered abroad, man. Go ahead.
And they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Lord hath spoken it.
Right, because did they not separate families, man? They separated families. So we're gonna sell you from, might sell your daughter to somebody out in somewhere in Australia, man. Might sell your son to one of the Philistines, man. All right. You see what I'm saying to you? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Verse 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men.
Yep.
Let all the men of war draw
Right,
near.
and it's funny because we're on the rise. Jake is on the rise in the spirit. Okay, the Lord is coming and bringing us on the rise, but our women are attaching to the serpent. So they're going to fall with the serpent, man. Go ahead.
Wake,
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near.
Yep.
Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords,
Yep.
and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
Yep.
Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about.
Well, that's for what? World War III. Okay? But that's it on that. What you got, bro?
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 30. And the Lord shall cause his glorious voice to be heard, and shall show the lightning down of his arm, with the indignation of his anger, and with the flame of a devouring fire, with scattering and tempest and hailstones. For through the voice of the Lord shall the Assyrian be beaten down, which smote with the rod.
Right, so in other words, the heathen that went up against us, because now the modern day Assyrian is these Edomites, represents these Edomites, man. They're going to be broken down. All right. Matter of fact, get me Deuteronomy 30 and 7, okay? Because there's a change happening, man. That's why Aaron Russo, he made that movie Trading Places, right? Because he knows something. He's an insider. He knows things, man. He knows what's up. Okay? He knows what the elites think. Okay, go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 7. And the Lord thy power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, will put all these curses upon thine enemies.
Right, so we know who our enemies are, really all the other nations. starting with the so-called white man, the Edomites, man. All right? But all the rest of the nations, they're joined with him. Okay, they're hand in hand with him. All right, so guess what? He said he's going to put all these curses that we went through on our enemies, man. Go ahead. Oh, by the hand of my foot.
We'll put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee.
Do not they hate us? Right? Come on, bro. Go ahead. Yep. You got something else real quick? You got something? Read what you got.
This is the book of Jeremiah,
You're moving power for that scripture.
chapter 30, and verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured,
Yes, sir.
and all thine
Did
adversaries.
not they devour us as a people? Right? They spoiled our people, right? So guess what? All them that devoured us, the Israelites, they're going to be devoured. Go ahead.
And all thine adversaries, every one of them,
Yep.
shall go into captivity.
And all of them are going to go into captivity, man. We're going to put them in slavery. That's what we say, you Edomites are going into slavery, man. It's prophecy. You can't outdo prophecy. You can't outrun prophecy. There's nothing you can do to extend your time period in rulership. You're at the end now. All right? You had your time, you had your little glory time, and that's it. Now you're at the end. Now people are starting to find out the truth. And the more they find out the truth, the more hatred is going to build against you. I'm going to tell you that now. So the biggest enemy to these Edomites is truth. Go ahead. Yep.
This is the book of Job, chapter 14, and verse 5. Seeing his days are determined,
Yep.
the number of his months are with thee. Now,
His days are determined, meaning what? The Lord already has a particular time when they're going to go down. It's already recorded. It's already. He has the date in the heavens. Go ahead.
thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
And he can't pass those bounds. He can't go 1 second past that time. Go ahead.
This back to Jeremiah 30,
Right.
and verse 16. And all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil. And all they that prey upon thee will I give for a prey.
Right. Oh, so we're gonna. You see that when you go, the police is behind you, and they see it's a Jake, and they're like, that's like a prey. You're like a prey, and you're like the predator. You see what I'm saying? And Jake be nervous. Like Jake, especially in the world, they be nervous. The police come behind them, following them, looking in the car, right? So Jake can't tell me you don't get nervous. That's because that's a predator and prey scenario right there. But guess what? The Lord is going to switch that around.
That's right.
All right, go ahead. Go
This
ahead.
is the book of Obadiah 15. For
Yep.
the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen.
Woo, it's near. We see it's coming. All right, go ahead.
As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. And what have they done? All right? It says, happy are them shall serve thee as thou hast served us. Get me that. Okay? Go ahead.
Thy reward shall return upon thine own head.
Yep. Yeah, so whatever you did is going to come back to you, man. You reap what you sow. That's the scriptures. That goes back to the scriptures, man. All right? What you got? You got something? Go ahead.
This is Ezekiel 25 and verse 12. Thus said the Lord power, because that Edom had dealt against the house of Judah
Yeah.
by taking vengeance and greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus said the Lord power,
Because these Edomites came up against us, all right, and they did violence against us. What? Go ahead.
therefore, thus said the Lord power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom,
So the Lord is going to stretch out his hand upon Edom. Go ahead.
and I will cut off men and beasts from it,
Yep.
and I will make it desolate from Teman,
Yep.
and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword,
Yep.
and I will lay vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people
So the
Israel.
Lord is going to use us to lay that vengeance on him, man. Because in slavery, we're not going to be nice to these Edomites, man. All right, we're gonna lay some serious terror on them, man. That's right. All right,
Right.
and the Lord is going to be with it. All right, and our minds are going to be open on a higher level. So we're going to be more creative with it, man. That's right. All right. Go ahead.
And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, said the Lord power.
That's right. You got something? Somebody, you want something? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Psalms 137 and 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom
Right.
in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even unto the foundations thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us.
That's it. How have you served us? What have you done to us Happy shall be he that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. That's called payback and vengeance. Go ahead.
Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones.
Because that's what they were doing. They were taking babies, like Christopher Columbus and them, taking babies and slapping them and killing them, man, against the stones, breaking their skulls against stones, man, cutting up pregnant women, all right, for fun. They were doing it for fun, according to his autobiography, man, all right? And they got statues of this devil, man. So guess what? We're going to reward all these Edomites the same exact way, man, all right, but worse, all right? There's more, there's in on that, right? Go ahead, Amos.
Isaiah 40 and 16.
Yep.
And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beasts thereof sufficient for a burnt offering.
Yep.
All nations before him are as nothing, and they are according to him less than nothing in vanity.
So what does it mean Lebanon is not sufficient to burn? Meaning if you're a heathen, you could burn all the animals you want as a sacrifice. And you can't come to the Lord. The Lord ain't gonna accept you, man. Right? That's why that one Israelite, he was pissed off, man. He's like, yo, well, if I'm not an Israelite, then I'm a spit. Like, absolutely. All right? If you're not one of our people, he has nothing, man. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 36 and verse 5. Thus said the Lord, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, surely in the fire of my jealousy.
Well, in the words of my brother, Amos, vous avez vendu. Oh, bro, that was hard. That was like, I really have been cracking up. I was crying tears, bro. Vous avez vendu. Vous avez orange. Go ahead.
Ezekiel, chapter 36 and verse 5. Therefore, thus said the Lord, power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their
So
possession.
Idumea is another way of saying Edom, the Edomites, okay? And who have what? Appointed my land into their possession. They could have control of that land right now. The Edomites, man. Based upon what? The Balfour Declaration, man. All right, so you Edomites are found out, man. We know who the Edomites are, okay? And it's not just them either, man. They're just one sect of the Edomites, right? All you, the majority of you so-called white people are Edomites, man. Your prospective tribes. Go ahead.
Obadiah 6. How are the hidden things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?
Yeah, how are the hidden things shut up? Yeah. Go ahead.
Back to Ezekiel 36 and verse 5. And against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession, with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds to cast it out.
Because they were happy. When they got that after World War III, when they got that land, they were extremely happy. Right? When you read the Balfour Declaration, he was happy about that. All right? But that was going against the Lord because that's not their land. That's why that land is cursed. Oh, it should be trodden of the Gentiles? Get me that. All right? Because that land that belongs to us. We're supposed to be in that land right now. Okay? And the Lord is, once we get in that land, the Lord is going to bless us abundantly. Man. You see? Yep.
This is Luke 21 and verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led captive into all nations. And Jerusalem.
Who shall be led captive into all nations? Us, our people, man. All right? We're not led captive, slave into all nations? Absolutely, man. Go ahead.
And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Right, so it's being trodden right now by the Gentiles. When is the time of the Gentiles going to be fulfilled? When the Lord comes back. That's going to be the end. We're at the end right now. Okay? We're at the end right now, and the Lord is getting ready to come back, clearly. That's right. See? So, we only got a few prophecies left, man. The Kuragma, don't take that. Show this brother with the Kuragma. Don't take this. Don't take that microchip they're about to offer you, brother. Okay? They're about to offer the whole world this, man, as the top solution. These people ain't gonna be wearing. They're gonna be wearing. They're gonna be able to take off their mask if they get that. All right. See? Go ahead, read.
This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Right. That mark is that Kuragma. All right. That microchip they're gonna offer you. This was prophesied thousands of years ago, and it's still coming to pass. You know what? And you know they know about this prophecy, but they can't go against prophecy. All right? Because the Lord's word will stand. You see? Go ahead.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Right. So that's it. All right. So get 14. Get Revelations 14, showing the judgment of that.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 14, and verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image.
Right.
And
How do you worship the beast? By being believing into this system. Okay. That's how you worship the beast, man. Which that word goes back to adore, adoration. All right. You adore this system. Right? Like if you're a police officer, you adore the system. Right? You got these people, I got a master's who just trust the science, and they're arguing with you about that. It's because they adore this system. You see what I'm saying? They're worshiping the beast. Go ahead.
If any worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall.
Elon Musk's Neuralink. You see what I'm saying too? That's that. He's part of the system. They're acting like this guy's fighting against the elites. He's not fighting against anything. He's with them. All right. He's set up with he has his purpose, okay, that they're using it for. Go ahead.
The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone.
That's going into the nuclear destruction. All right, you're going to be caught. The ones that are in America, they're gonna feel that nuclear fire. And anyone who's outside of America, if the Lord don't hit you with nuclear fire, he has a special judgment for you if you take that mark. Go ahead.
And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest, day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name.
Right, and when it says forever and ever, it doesn't mean actually forever. It means for a very long time. Okay, because when 9/11, when those buildings went down in 9/11, that smoke was going up for months. That smoke was rising for months. So imagine when America is destroyed by nuclear fire. That's going to go up for years. We don't know how much years. You see what I'm saying to you? So it's going to be a long time. All right? You got something? What you got?
2nd Ezra chapter 6
Right.
and verse 7.
Yep.
Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
Right, what shall be? What shall be? Read that again. So Ezra is asking the angel, when is going to end? When is the kingdom going to come in? When is the end of the earth? When is the kingdom of the Lord going to come in? Go ahead.
Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
Right.
And he said, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand.
So it goes back to Jacob and Esau, those two brothers that were in the womb. Are you familiar with Jacob and Esau, brother?
I've heard some stuff, not every time.
Not too much.
I'm not like
No worries, brothers. That's why we're here. That's why we're here.
That's why we're listening.
Go ahead.
From Abraham unto Isaac,
Yep.
when Jacob and Esau were born of him,
Right.
Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Yeah.
For Esau is the end of the world.
Esau is the end of the world. The so-called white man is the Edomites, okay? Which his forefather is Esau, okay? So he's the end of the world. That's why he's ruling now at the end, okay? Go ahead.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
But Jacob, the Israelite, starting with the Lord Yahweh Shai, is the beginning of it that follows. So when he goes down, that's the beginning of our uprising.
That's right.
Through our power, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right? Hold on. Hold that for a second, brother. Read that.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25, and verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said,
So it said that the children struggled together within her. All right? Meaning what? They were fighting in the womb. So why? Because they were opposing spirits. Go ahead. You got the righteous and you got the wicked. That's all. Go ahead.
And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
2 manner of people were 2 totally different spirits. When you look at the so-called white men and so-called blacks, Latinos and Native Americans, we're actually exact opposites, man. The way we operate, the way we think is complete opposite. All right? They like their food how? They like their steak or meat rare. All right? Medium rare. we like our stuff well done. If it's pink inside, Jake is going to be like, oh, what is this, man? Go ahead.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
And that's our people, all right? Michael Jordan, we have that natural gift of strength, not only physically, but also mentally too, and spiritually. So if Esau couldn't go through what we went through with slavery, he would be done. When they lose their job, they're ready to jump off the building. Esau has a weaker spirit, man. Okay? Go ahead.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
And the elder, who's the elder? Let's hear it. Go ahead.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red, all over like in hairy garments.
First came out red. All right. So when you go look up a picture of a so-called white baby, if a brother wants to pull that up on Google real quick, right? And you'll look at it and you'll see they're red. They're completely red. All right. When a Jake comes out, or say a so-called black man, he comes out a little bit light-skinned, but then his melanin comes in. But they come out completely red. Right?
And they called his name Esau.
Yep.
And after that came his brother
Which
out.
that word Esau means wasted away. Because he saw him, he was like, oh shoot, Esau. Meaning what? He didn't see any pigmentation, so he's like, something is missing. All right, go ahead.
And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel.
Yep.
And his name was called Jacob.
And that was spiritual. The fact that he held his heel while he was coming out was spiritual, because we read it in 2 Ezra, the 6th chapter, that it meant that Jacob was going to take Esau down. When you cut off someone's legs, they can't stand. If you give somebody a chop kick to the feet, they fall. That's why in that image in Daniel, get that image in Daniel, brother. Okay, the rock hit a certain place in that image, man. And that represented what? The rulership of the heathen, the time of the Gentiles, man. You got a good one? Oh, go show. Look. What color is that, brother? What color is that, brother? What color do you think that is, brother?
I don't know, sir.
You don't know? Okay. That's okay, brother. That's okay,
That's
brother.
red.
It's redder than your shoes. Your shoes are kind of, you know? That's a darker red than your shoes. You know? But that's white, right? Come on, man. Give me a joke, man. Go ahead. What you got? You got something? Oh, you got it? Okay, good.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2, and verse.
Precept of the new one?
Yeah. The book of Daniel, chapter 2, and verse 33. His legs of iron, his feet, part of iron and part clay. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out with thy hands.
Right, and there was different, there was gold, there was silver, there was brass, there was iron, and then at the bottom there was clay, which represents this this kingdom right here, the iron mixed with clay, because this is the Roman Empire revised. But it's partly weak and partly strong, because you have the weak nations, which they're known as pigs, right, which is what? Portugal, Ireland, Greece, all right, and yeah, I think Germany is strong. That's definitely strong. All right, and Essence, I believe, is Spain. Okay, those are the weaker European nations that are part of that beast system. Right, so that's why it says partly strong and partly weak. All right, go ahead.
It says, thou sawest till that a stone was cut out with thy hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay, and
smote where?
And smote the image upon his feet.
Upon his feet. Because that, like I said, you cut off the legs, that's where everything falls, man. Go ahead.
That were iron and clay, and break them to pieces.
And broke into pieces, right. So that represents the fall of all those kingdoms, meaning the time of the Gentiles. Because since the Babylonians, what happened to our people? Basically, we've been jumping from captivity to captivity to captivity, man. Right? We had a period of time after the Roman Empire fell that we were ruling. That's prophecy too, right? Where Esau was not able to get up, but then he got up and we went back into captivity, man. All right, go ahead.
It says, and break them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found to them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth.
Became a great mountain. Get me Isaiah the 2nd chapter. All right, because that mountain represents a great government. Okay, because our government is going to be above all other governments, starting with our Lord Yahweh Shai. Okay. This
is the book of Isaiah, chapter 2,
verse 1.
At verse 1. And it reads, the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountain.
We heard that once that rock destroyed that image, a mountain came, a great mountain that represents the government. That's why they have what, a summit meeting, right? What's a summit? The top of a mountain, right? The top of the mountain is known as a summit. Go ahead.
And shall be exalted above the hills,
Yep.
and all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways.
So all these nations are gonna be trying to get to Israel to learn our ways, right? So they can follow and serve our power. You see that? Go ahead.
And we will walk in his path.
Yep.
For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
Yep.
And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into
And we're
plowshares.
going to rebuke the nations, all right? The Moab, we're going to have to tell them so-called Chinese, listen, you can't eat no rat, you can't eat no squirrel, you can't eat shrimp, you can't eat this and that.
right.
You have to tell them Ishmaelites, you can't worship a rock anymore, all right? You can't do such, you can't eat camel, you can't do such and such, all right? We're going to have to get all these other nations in line, all right, with our power. And it's going to be better for them, all right? Because eventually they're going to end up able to flourish in a righteous rulership. The only ones that's not going to get a time to flourish is these Edomites, man, okay, because of what they've done. All right, go ahead.
And their spears into pruning hooks.
Yep.
Nations shall not lift up sword against nation.
Yep.
Neither shall they learn war anymore.
And that's the end of war. Because first of all, we're going to have the spiritual power. It says that the house of David shall be as God, shall be as the Most High. All right? And we're going to have power. Yo, Shalom, Shalom. You have the site?
Yeah, no, I know.
You know the site?
No, I know.
Write down the site for brother.
O house of Jacob, come ye, and let us walk in the light of the Lord.
Yeah, right.
Genesis 25 and verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter,
Yep.
a man of the field.
Which that's how these Edomites now. They love to hunt. All right, that's in their spirit. Go ahead.
And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
Right, when you look up plain, it also means righteous. All right? Or straight. You know, go ahead.
Verse 29, and Jacob sought pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee.
Such a profane person. Give me that. All right, go ahead.
Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage,
Yeah.
for I am faint.
Yeah.
Therefore was his name called Edom.
Right, that's why, right, dealing with that red pottage. Okay? Because, you know, Esau likes to eat his meat not fully cooked. Man. All right? Go to the steakhouse, you're going to see these Edomites ordering, and you look at it, it's like full of blood. But that's what they like. All right? Because that's in their spirit. Right? I think that's pretty much it on that, but you could finish it off on that part.
To the point says, verse 34, then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
He despised it because he's not a spiritual man. Just like Cain wasn't spiritual. Right? Cain offered up a sacrifice that was not worthy. All right? Because he didn't want to take a loss. He didn't want to take the L. Because the flocks, that's invaluable. That's more valuable. So he wanted to give the earth, the lower, shrubs. All right? So that's the same spirit that's in these Edomites, man. Okay? Go ahead.
This is the book of 1 John chapter 3 and verse 12. Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, and slew his brother.
Yep.
And wherefore slew he him?
Right, these Edomites have the same spirit of Cain, man. That's why they murdered us the way they murdered us, man. All right? Because they have the spirit. Oh, the Gadites tried to help them, so-called Native Americans. They tried to help them, man. And what did they do? They gave them blankets with smallpox. All right? They killed the women and children while they're out for war. So these people are bloody people, man. All right? Go ahead.
It says, because his own works were evil, and his brother's righteous.
Well, that's why he hated them, because his works were righteous. That's why they hate us. Okay? Especially the men of the Lord, man. They like a Jake with his pants sagging. They don't mind that. They don't really mind that. When they don't, the gangster rap, they don't, Esau doesn't promote, say nothing against gangster rap. But when we preach righteousness and how our people to come out of that situation, he has an issue with that. Preaching hate. Hold on, saying I'm a killing nigga and naming the niggas that you killed, that's not hate. Go ahead, bro. Go. Hold on. He had something. Right quick.
Isaiah 32 and verse 7, the instruments also of the sheol are evil, He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with his lying words, even when the needy speaketh right.
That's a good one. That's a good one, right? So that's it. When the needy speak, especially when he speaks right. He shoot his arrows at the perfect. Oh, you got that? Okay, shoot his arrows at the perfect. That's what he's trying to do, man. It says that the righteous are more excellent than his leader. What about these Edomites, man? That's right, spirit, man. Okay, the Edomites can't. They're not. There's nothing righteous about Esau. All right, but hold on. I asked about Esau. Okay, Esau. Go ahead.
Hebrews 12 and verse 16.
Yep.
Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau.
What does the word profane mean? It means outside of the temple. All right, go ahead.
Who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
So he sold his birthright for a morsel of meat because he's not spiritual, he's carnal. Go ahead.
Verse 17, for ye know how that afterward when
and his God is his belly. Oh, you see that? The scriptures speak about that, whose God is their belly. And these jakes, they're in the spirit of Esau. That's why the Lord said, what? Ye are of your father the devil. Because they act like Edom. Their mentality is like an Edomite. You can't trust a Jake in your crib. Because a Jake in your crib, you might come and the TV's missing. Where the TV go? All right? Right? Because they have that mindset of Esau, man. Go ahead.
Verse 17, for ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected.
Yep.
For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears.
Right, though he sought it carefully with tears, he didn't have no place of repentance. Because the Lord rejected him, man. All right? That's why the elites are mad. Okay? See? That's why they're mad. That's why they told people they're going to have to eat more lentils. That was a spiritual... I think that might have been a shot from the elites. You know, and us. You know, you guys niggas is going to have to eat lentils with bread. Okay? Some of you, you'll see the elites get down like that, bro. They do those things. You know? What you got, bro? That's it? Got something to talk?
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed.
Right. The dragon was wroth. The red dragon represented the Edomites. That red dragon. All right? That red dragon, man. Go ahead.
Which keep the commandments of the Most High,
Yep.
and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai.
And have the testimony of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. You see that? All right? Go ahead. Matter of fact, let's get to 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. Let's go into that, man. All right?
It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15.
Go ahead.
I'm just starting to talk.
Come.
15 and 1, and it reads, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
Right, let not the incredulity of meaning what they disbelieve. All right, go ahead.
For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
Right, because what we're saying is going to come to pass, man, and it is coming to pass. All right, so regardless of what they say, it doesn't matter. All right, the scriptures set it up that way. The Lord set it up that way. Go ahead.
Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world.
Yep.
The sword, famine, death, and destruction.
Yep.
For wickedness had exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled.
Right. So the Lord is using these devils, right, his sword, to bring forth these things. Okay? Like they want to bring what? Order out of chaos. That's how Esau operates. He creates a situation, and then he comes with the solution. Like I'm watching that show Snowpiercer. That's what that dude does. All right, the main guy, that's what he does. Not the main guy, that's what they call him, the villain or whatever. That's what he does. He creates a situation, and then he pulls up, oh, no, see, you need me. No, that's what he does. That's what he does the whole movie. That's what he's doing now. There's another situation they're in right now, and then all people dying and shit. Oh, he's like, oh, well, I guess you got to take me out of lockup. Right? And he comes and, and then everyone wants him back. You see what I'm saying? But that's how the elites operate. See, his mind is like the elites. He's sadistic and wicked like the elites. That's why I like that show, but really you don't really have nothing to really, you gotta kind of stomach these shows, man, because these shows always got some madness Listen, man, you don't want this place to continue another 5 years, bro. Right? Because there's always some feminism. You know, got a princess beating up all warriors with scars on their face, man. I'm like, wait a minute, how the fuck did she do that? Because they're pushing their propaganda in your ear. Yo, I'm telling you, brother. That's why I had to stop watching The Witcher, man, because that was too much. Like, when he started training, I see him at the end, he was training the princess. No, I'm done with this show. I'm done. I'm at the end now. Okay? And then they have the alphabet thing, man. Right? She got one chicken and shit, and then Snowpiercer, she thought she go, yo. Yeah, it's Uncle Cat, Uncle Bess. I said, this bitch just say Uncle. She's calling herself the kid's uncle. So this place needs to be destroyed, man. It's like it. Go ahead, man. I went to a whole other rant. Read that again. It's a rat spirit. Go ahead.
Behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction.
Yeah, that's why he's bringing it. Because all this wickedness, man. Go ahead.
For wickedness had exceedingly polluted the whole earth.
Wickedness, man. Go ahead.
And their hurtful works are fulfilled.
Yeah, their hurtful works are fulfilled, man. You see what I'm saying? They can't. There's nothing. Listen, everything has a judgment, man. There's a time. You got a time for everything. A time to play around, and then you got a time to be judged, man. I know that wasn't in Ecclesiastes, but that you know what I'm saying. Go ahead.
Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves.
Right. Go ahead.
Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me.
Don't stop. Just keep reading through till I stop you, because it kind of throws me off. I keep adding words for no reason. Go ahead.
And the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore saith the Lord,
Hold on. Are we complaining continually? Get me. You know what I want.
Ezekiel 9 and verse 4. And it reads, and the Lord said unto him, go to the midst of the city, to the midst of Jerusalem.
Right, and Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Wherever we're at, wherever our people are at, that's Jerusalem. Go ahead.
And set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
That complain about the wickedness going on in the society, man. All right? So guess what? The Lord is setting a mark upon those that do that, man. You see? Read that part again. We're going to come back to Ezekiel 9:4. Read that part again.
behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually.
The souls of the just, the ones that are righteous, man, in the sight of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, they complain continually to the Lord, man. You see? Go ahead.
And there,
everyone be on alert. Go ahead.
and therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them.
All the innocent blood, man, because there's been a lot of innocent blood shed, especially of our people, man. Okay, go ahead.
Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the found.
What land is going to be destroyed completely? America. That's the new modern day Egypt. Get me Revelations 11 and 8. Okay?
Revelation 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
And why is it called spiritually Sodom and Egypt? It's not actually Sodom and Egypt. It's Sodom because of the wickedness, the alphabet agenda they push around the earth, man. Right? That's why it's called Sodom. And why is it called Egypt? Because the Israelites are in captivity here. Egypt was a place of oppression for the Israelites, man.
Where also our Lord was crucified.
Right, the image. Right? Keep going.
And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see the dead bodies.
Right, spiritually dead. You have to understand that it's spiritually dead. Go ahead.
Shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. And they shall dwell upon the earth. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them.
Right, meaning what? The heathen, the other nations, our enemies. Go ahead.
And make merry and send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth, And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them
And
which
this is
saw
us,
them.
this is us standing upon our feet. Okay, meaning what? We're coming back to the truth, the knowledge of who we are, man. See, Jake and the world, they're in a feeble condition. They don't know up from down, man. You see, so they're lost. They're spiritually dead. All right, but us, when we got this truth, that's when we were awakened through the Spirit. And Yahweh Shai was made what? A quickening spirit. All right, so he makes the elect alive. All right. Read something, right?
Verse 12, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it.
Yeah.
They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with the fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh.
Right, so guess what? There's going to be a lot of death and destruction coming to this earth, man.
That's right.
All right? A lot of famine, all right, like we always speak about, okay? We're getting to that point, all right, where the storehouses are going to be empty, okay? Go ahead.
And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand.
Right, and there's going to be people fighting against each other in the streets, killing each other, breaking into people's houses. Go ahead.
But there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Meaning what? Meaning they're not going to regard the government. And people are having less and less trust in the government in these latter days, man. And it's just going to increase the more truth comes out. You see what I'm saying? So ultimately, it's going to be people that's, and plus they're going to see how they're going to oppress them in these times to come. All right? They thought the lockdowns was bad. It's about to get a lot worse, man. All right? Esau's getting ready. Go ahead. Oh, got a piece of wood.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
That's civil war right there. All right? Go ahead.
A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. For because of pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
Well, that's it. Because of their pride, man. That's why the Lord's bringing all this. Their pride and their wickedness, man. Oh, don't they have pride parades? So Esau's like, these people are demons, man. Okay, so the Lord is gonna, don't worry, the Lord got them, man. All right, go ahead.
A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of lack of bread, and for great tribulation.
Right, for lack of bread and great tribulation, man. All right, so the Lord is not playing. Go ahead.
Behold, saith the Most High, I will call together all the kings.
Hold on. Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 16. Therefore shall the Lord of hosts, send among his fat ones leanness, and under his glory he shall kindle a burning like the burning of a fire.
Right. Right. So upon the fat one's leanness. That's right. All right. You got these people that got an obesity problem. Well, that's okay. You're gonna lose a lot of weight in that day. You're gonna do the P99 100. All right. Yeah. Like we seen that the kids we see, ribs was touching. I had like an 18 pack, man. You guys gonna be looking good for the summer when the time comes. All right, when that time comes, man. The leanness. What, bro? What you got, bro? You got something?
Very quick. This is 2nd Ezra 8 and verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them, and their latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride.
Well, that's it, man. So the Lord is going to surely reward your pride, man, with judgment. See?
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe
Ezekiel the 4th chapter.
to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath.
Who's the devil? These Edomites, man. Starting with their elites is speaking about. Go ahead.
Because he knoweth that he has but a short time.
Right. They know they have a short time to rule, so now they're trying to establish their new world order, man. All right. Go ahead. Oh, really? That's what I'm saying.
The book of Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 15. Shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith? Or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaketh it? As if the rod should shake itself against them that lift it up, whereas if the staff should lift up itself as if it were no wood.
Right. Yeah, well, that's Esau. Okay, because Esau's full of pride, man. You see what I'm saying? He's boasting himself against his maker. You know? Right? So the potter say to him that David, why hast thou made me thus? That's what Esau is doing, man. Okay? But the Lord is going to reward that pride. That's something else. Right?
Ezekiel 21 and verse 8. Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord, see, a sword is sharpened, and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sword slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. So we did make mirth, and condemneth the rod of my son as every tree. And he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, it is furbished to give into the hand of the slayer.
Yeah. And who's the slayer? The Edomites, man. He was a murderer from the beginning. And bold not in the truth, man. You see that? So ultimately the Lord is allowing these Edomites to rose for judgment purposes, man. You see that? What you got, bro? Right, no, actually, hold on. You got something? You got that Ezekiel 4, dealing with the family?
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4 and verse 16. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care.
Right, and the Lord did that multiple times, man. Right, that's part of the curses of Deuteronomy 28 chapter. Right, but this is going to be that final time that he's going to do to these people. All right, go ahead.
And they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment.
Why? Why are they going to drink water by measure? Because it's going to be scarce, man. See what I'm saying? And the food is going to be scarce. Go ahead.
That they may want bread and water and be a stone, one with another, and consume away for their iniquity.
Yeah, for their iniquity. And when you die of famine, you consume away. All right, so that's a real. The Lord has to really dislike you for you to die from famine. That's how we know the prophets said. That's not how the prophets go out, man. Okay, the Lord has to really, really have hatred for you to go out by famine, bro. Go ahead.
Lamentations 4 and verse 9.
So I mean, if you're a man of the Lord and it gets deep in the city, you know, the persecution. If you go to the forest, it's going to be good. The Lord's going to give you something. Go ahead.
Lamentations 4 and verse 9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger.
Right, they that slay by the sword are better than they that slay by hunger. Why? Go ahead.
For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field.
Right, it's not no joke, man. And people, their mind state changes, man. Their mental state changes when that happens, man. All right? You see? Oh, because the iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. You don't even have to get it. I said it, you know? But, yeah. So it's about to get to that level. You're going to see the true nature of these people come out, man. What you got?
This is Ezekiel 5 and verse 16.
Yep.
When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you, and I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread.
Yeah, that famine is coming, man. All right? And guess what? You're not going to deliver yourself by stocking up either. That's not going to help you. All right? If the Lord is not with you, you're done. All right? You can stock up the whole earth. You can have an actual store in your house. All right? You could own a grocery store. What's going to happen? Where are the people going to go? They're going to go loot your store. They're going to loot your house. That's just where it's going to be. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 17. So will I send upon you famine and evil beasts, and they shall bereave thee, and pestilence and blood shall pass through thee, and I will bring the sword upon thee. I, the Lord, have spoken it.
That's it. All right? That's it.
This is 2 Ezra 16 and 22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
So that's that. You lean on your hand and the serpent bit you. You ran, you know, get me that. You see? You're not going to be able to escape, man. The judgment is here. All right? The judgment is coming. All right?
This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, and verse 17.
Oh, give me Jeremiah 30 and 7.
Amos 5 and 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you?
Yep.
The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him.
Right, so in other words, you're not going to be able to escape, man. It's going to be just darkness. Like, you know, like in the cartoons, they have a dark cloud following them, right? That's what it's going to be like, man. A dark cloud's going to be following you, man. And guess what? There's going to be it's going to be like a chariot following us, man. You see that? Go ahead.
It says, verse 20, shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it?
Yep. That's it. Is there something else? What?
This is Ezekiel chapter 5 and verse 9. And I will do in thee that which I have not done, and whereunto I will not do any more the like, because of all thine abominations. Therefore the fathers shall eat the sons in the midst of thee, and the sons shall eat their fathers.
Yo, that's what's going to happen, man. That's going back to what? Cannibalism. That's how bad it's going to get out here, that people are actually going to resort to cannibalism. Okay? No, we keep playing around, man. The Lord is not joking, man. All right? When he brings that judgment, they're going to know what's up. All that pride is going to go right out the window, man. That's why you got to laugh at these people when they have that pride. Because so quickly can the Lord bring down that pride. The Lord can have somebody bring that pride down in 30 minutes. In 2 minutes. Okay? You're driving, and then boom, you hit something, and you're a paraplegic, man. Where's the pride gone? You see what I'm saying? So the Lord is about to do away with all that pride, man. Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah 23 and verse 20. The anger of the Lord shall not return until he hath executed, until he hath performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it perfectly.
Right. You know, you're gonna consider, oh, then shall they know? Read that.
This is Ezekiel 33 and verse 33. And when this cometh to pass, lo,
and what cometh to pass? Everything that we're saying coming out of this book, right? Because they're gonna come to pass. Go ahead.
And lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them.
That's when they're gonna realize, these were the prophets, man. Right? And the words they were saying was true. Okay. Go ahead. Was it on that? What you got, brother?
Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. Alas, for that day is great,
Right.
so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
Jacob's trouble, right? Dealing with what? These Israelites, man. You Israelites are going to get messed up in these times, man. Right? If Esau has the core, you have the fruit. Sure, for sure. Go ahead.
But he shall be saved out of it.
Right? But he shall be saved out of it. Right? Who shall be saved? The elect. Get them Daniel's 12th chapter. What you got? Read that.
This is the book of St. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences.
Right. So when people go to war too, right? That creates a shortage of food, man, because they're putting all that money into their war. So we're getting ready to go into World War III. So what do you think, man? A famine is coming too. All right. And not only is it coming from the war, but the elites are also putting that together, right? Through the orders of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Okay? Go ahead.
It says, famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
Right. What you got?
All these are the beginning of sorrows.
Yeah, right. We already started that. We already started the beginning of sorrow, but there's a great finale that's getting ready to come, man. You see? You got Daniel's 12?
It's the book of Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Right? Even to that same time, man. Because guess what? This time is going to be worse than any other time in history. The Lord is setting it up. Right? That great finale, man. What you got, man?
This is Jeremiah 16 and verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them.
North America, because that's where the greatest deliverance is going to be, right? Because before the destruction, right? The great destruction, the great nuclear destruction spoken about in what? Give me Isaiah 13, man. Give me Jeremiah the 50th chapter, okay? That was prophesied, but the elect of the nation of Israel is going to be delivered from that. You see? Go ahead, there's more than that.
Okay. And I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
Right, what's our land that he gave unto our fathers, man? The 12 tribes, right? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. What land did he give unto our fathers? The land of Israel, man. Go ahead. What else? That's it? Okay. Okay, read that. Isaiah 13.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, and verse 1.
Yep.
The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see.
Yep.
Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them.
That's what we're doing. We're exalting the voice, man. Especially unto our people to wake up out of that dead state, man. And to come back to their power, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. The great spirit. Go ahead.
Shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles.
Yep. Right. What we're doing, shaking the hand. When you go like this, you're rebuking. Go ahead.
I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger.
Yep.
Even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people. A tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle.
Meaning what? The Lord is starting World War III. He's the one that's putting all these wars that started. Really, the Heavenly Father's the one that put them together. Okay, he went into the mind, worked in the minds of the kings for to start for what? Prophecy's sake. All these words of this book have to be accomplished, man. Or that would make the Lord a liar, which he's not. Go ahead.
They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation.
What's the weapons of his indignation? Get me that I created the smith that brought the coals in the fire? That's the nuclear missiles, man. That's actually the weapons of the Lord's indignation. That's his army, okay? And he's going to use that to destroy America completely, all right? Let's go on that.
It reads, they come to destroy the whole land. How ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand, it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty.
Oh, it's a destruction for the Almighty, all right? For the Heavenly Father. What?
This is Jeremiah 50 and verse 25. The Lord hath opened his armory, and hath brought. Let me read that again. Jeremiah 50 and verse 25. The Lord hath opened his armory. He hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation.
The weapons of his indignation are those nuclear missiles, man. Go ahead.
For this is the word of the Lord of hosts and the land of the Chaldees.
Right. Upon the land of the Chaldees represented Babylon. Okay, Chaldea was in Babylon. The new Babylon is what? Babylon the Great is what? America. Okay? That's the new Babylon, according to the scriptures. All right? What you got, brother?
It's the book of Joel, chapter 2 and 2.
Yep.
Joel 2 and 2. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them.
A fire devoureth before them. That's that nuclear wave. That fire that devoureth before them. Go ahead.
And behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them.
Meaning what? The places where the nuclear fire didn't hit yet. It's like the garden. In other words, there's plants, there's greenery. Go ahead.
And behind them a desolate wilderness.
And behind them a desolate wood, because that's that wave destroying that place. See? When you watch that movie Terminator 2, it shows you a scene at the end like that. Okay? Go ahead.
Yea, and nothing shall escape them.
Right, and nothing shall escape them. You can't escape. You can't build a bunker to escape the nuclear missiles, man. Right? What you got?
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 54 and 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work.
What's that instrument? The nuclear missiles. Okay? He put it in their mind to split the atom, to create an instrument, all right, that's going to actually bring down their own kingdom. You see? Because these Edomites are sadistic like that. Go ahead.
And I have created the waster to destroy.
It's the waster that's going to destroy. Give me Isaiah 34. What you got?
This is 2nd Ezra 6.
Oh, you got that? Go read it.
2nd Ezra 16 and verse 12, the earth quaketh and the foundations thereof.
The earth quaking. What's going to make the earth, the whole planet Earth quake? Not just one part, the whole earth quake. Go ahead.
The sea ariseth up with waves from the
Yep.
deep,
Yep.
and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also, before the Lord and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow,
Right.
and his arrows that he shooteth are sharp.
The
and sharp.
arrows that he shooteth are sharp. When you look at a nuclear missile, it's shaped just like an arrow. It's the exact same shape as an arrow. Go ahead.
And shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world.
When they begin to be shot into the ends of the world, man. How can you shoot an arrow at the end of the world? That's not speaking about a regular arrow, man. That's speaking about a nuclear missile. Okay? Which the Lord is the one that created those weapons for the end time. All right? Get me Revelations the 18th chapter and read that Isaiah 34.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 34.
Right? So we know that's not speaking about a regular arrow. Because you can't shoot, nobody can shoot an arrow from one end of the earth to the other. No one can shoot an arrow from one city to another. It's something different. Go ahead. Read.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 1.
Yep.
Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter.
Yep.
Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses.
That's dealing with World War III that's getting ready to happen. Okay? Because the Lord is going to be a lot of dead bodies, man. All right? Go ahead.
It says, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood,
Yep.
and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll.
All hosts of heaven shall be dissolved. What can dissolve all the elements? A rock, the buildings. That's nuclear fire, man. That's going to dissolve all these elements, man. You see? Go ahead.
And all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea.
Meaning what? When the nuclear missiles are shot, it goes into the outer atmosphere, it goes into the heavens, and then it comes back down. All right? And the warheads separate before it detonates. Go ahead.
Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea.
In 1 hour? Give me that. In 1 hour? Go ahead.
And behold, it shall come down upon Idumea.
So Idumea are the Edomites, man. All right? The so-called white people, because they're the ones that are ruling this system. So it's going to come down upon what? Specifically America. Once America, the head city of the Edomites, are destroyed, that's the end of the Edomite rulership. Okay? Go ahead.
And upon the people of my curse to judgment.
That's it. Because that's the time of judgment. That's that great judgment, that great plague the Lord is going to bring, man. Go ahead.
The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
See, this is cold talk. The Bible's not written straight. It's not going to say America and white people and black people and black people. It's not going to say that. Okay? It's going to say it in the terms, either it's going to be cold or it's going to be in the terms of the day. All right? Because imagine if it actually said that America's going to be destroyed, so-called white people going into slavery. They would ban the Bible. They would burn all the Bibles. So the Lord made sure that was in hip talk, so to speak. Okay? Go ahead.
And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
Right, that's that great slaughter, man. And the only ones that's going to be delivered is the elect that turn back to the Lord, man. The ones that turn back to Yahweh Shem Yahushua in righteousness, man. Everyone else that forsakes him, that's not turning to him, they're going to be completely destroyed. You see? What you got, brother? That's it. What you got?
It's the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, and verse 10. But the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise,
Yeah.
and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
The elements shall melt with fervent heat, man. What's the elements? How can you melt the elements with fervent heat? Listen, we're talking about stones, we're talking about buildings, we're talking about cars. A regular fire is not gonna melt everything with fervent heat, man. A building, when it's on fire, it's still remnants of the building there, it's just burnt. But guess what? The nuclear fire is gonna destroy everything, man. Go ahead. Watch out. Look behind you, man. Coming up behind like that, brother. Go ahead, man.
The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up.
Right. The works therein shall be burnt up, man. All right. What? With what? The nuclear fire. What you got for me?
Revelation 18 and verse 10
You have a question?
and verse.
You have a question?
Yeah, no need to interrupt.
Yeah, no problem. What's your question?
Take a picture.
A picture? Well, you can take a picture of the sign. It's not of us. There's no reason to think we're not important enough.
I see that you're representing. It's very cool what you're doing.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. You gravitate to the word.
Interpretations of truth.
Right, y'all. Hey, that's what's up, brother. That's what's up. That's what's up, brother. Hey, you've heard this before? Have you heard this before?
New to it.
Huh?
New to it.
You're new to it?
Yeah, I know it's like last time or
Say it again.
like how's it work out?
Well, but just the gathering of the elect. You know, the gathering of the chosen of the Lord. So when they hear this word, it's going to click in with them in their mind. They're going to come into the truth. Okay, and then in the last, they're going to be delivered from the said destruction that's
I
coming.
see all that want to be hard, but is there somewhere I can centralize and learn? Like,
Oh, okay. Well, you can go on the YouTube. We're going to show you, give you the page for the YouTube. Give them the whole page.
I don't need to interrupt. It's good.
No. It's all right, brother.
I
It's
want
all right,
to
brother.
I want to take a picture because y'all are representing.
Well, hey, you can see it. You can watch us on YouTube, man. You
Like
can
you
watch
get a
us
shot
on-
of that? You're posting?
Yes, absolutely. Take a picture of any of the pictures you want.
What about the lion?
Yep. Sure that too, man. Yeah. We're here to answer all questions, man. It's the sincere questions. That's all. That's awesome, brother. That's it. That's right, brother. That's right, brother. Go ahead.
This is Revelation 18 and verse 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornications and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning.
Woo, the smoke of who's burning? America's burning. Okay, that's that whore that sitteth upon the beast. All right. When they see her, the whore burning, they're gonna be like, oh my goodness. What verse is that? Where are you at?
Verse 9. I'm not verse 10.
Okay.
Verse 10, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come.
In 1 hour, because it's only going to take the nuclear missiles they have now could get to America in 20 minutes from Russia. All right? So that the Lord had them created that way. So that what? It said in 1 hour America's going to be completely destroyed, man. You see what I'm saying? Once that hits ground zero, roof, that fire's going to move quick.
That's right.
All right? Go ahead.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 4 and verse 48. So I stood and saw, and behold, an hot burning oven passed by before me. And it happened that when the flame was gone by,
It's right.
and it happened that when the flame was gone by, I looked, and behold, the smoke remained still.
Yes, the smoke remains still, man. All right? You see? So the Lord is going to bring a great destruction here, man. You know? What you got? You got Isaiah 50. You got Jeremiah 50. You got Jeremiah 50. What we got? Whoever gets it first, we'll get it. Well, we got to get to this destruction too, man.
This is Jeremiah 50 and verse 1. The word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of Chaldea.
And by the way, the word Babylon means confusion. Okay, that's where you get the word Babel from. It's confusion. All right? Because America pushing out nothing but confusion. Right? Feminism, alphabet agenda, all kind of wickedness and evil, witchcraft. All right? They push all that nonsense on the people and they force it on these other nations. Okay? So that's going to be destroyed completely, man. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 50 and verse 1. The word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate.
What's that nation? That's speaking of Russia. Okay, because this is speaking really about the modern day Babylon. There's certain keys in this chapter that tells you it's not speaking about ancient Babylon. Okay, although Jeremiah says certain things that pertain to ancient Babylon, well, there's certain things that pertain to ancient Babylon that actually pertain to this Babylon. All right, they actually worship those gods, and the elites, they worship those gods, make sacrifices to those gods, man. Go ahead.
And none shall dwell therein.
Yep.
They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. And those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping. They shall go and seek the Lord their power.
The children of Judah and the children of Israel shall go and seek the Lord their power. That's what we're doing right now. All right, this is all spiritual what's happening, man.
That's right.
And Esau can't stop the spirit, man. Go ahead.
Verse 5, they shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, come and let us join ourselves to the Lord in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. All that found them hath devoured them, and their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice.
So see, guess what? Every time we sinned against the Lord, the enemies knew that they could take us down. See, but once we're with our power, because the time that we're coming back to our power now, right? So the elect is with the power. See, so they can't do anything against the elect, you know. But when that time comes, when the Lord comes back, all the Israelites, the remnants, they're going to be with the Heavenly Father and with Yahweh Shai perpetually, man. So these nations will never be able to take us down, man. We're going to have our foot on their neck perpetually, man. See? But guess what? It's going to be good for them, because they're going to learn the ways of righteousness, all right? And they're going to get to live in a just society, man. A righteous and just society. It's not going to be like this place, all right? You got to pay more than half of your money in taxes, man. You don't own nothing. If you're living in an apartment, you don't own anything. You're below the poverty line. They tell you you're above you're below the poverty line. If you don't actually own your home, all right, and actually own cattle and things like that, you're really below the poverty line, man. You're living on the street. Anything can happen and, oh shoot, you're on the streets, man. Go ahead.
The habitation of
But they're
justice.
still proud. That's what's crazy about them. They're still proud. With nothing, they're still proud, man. Go ahead.
The habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers.
Yep.
Remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans.
Yep.
And be as the he goats before the flocks. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country.
Right, that's the Russians, man. All right, and then guess what? They're going to be with an assembly. They're going to be with their allies, man. And by the way, the allies of America are turning on them. And that all goes back to biblical prophecy, man. Oh, the Saudi Arabians just made a spoof of Joe Biden. It was an accurate spoof, too. It was actually pretty funny, man. Okay? And he needed help to find where he was at. Well, that just happened just the last press conference, man. He was looking, he walked this way, he looked, he's shaking an invisible man's hand. And then he looked back this way. And he walked, and he looked back this way, and the people are just looking at him like, yo, bro, exit stage left. You know? And who knows where he went, man? Who knows where he went? Y'all knows. Just go ahead, man. Go ahead, man.
And they shall set themselves in array against her.
Yeah.
From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain.
Right. Meaning what? Those are speaking about the nuclear missiles, man. None are going to return in vain. They're all going to hit their target, man. Oh, none shall break their rank. Okay? Oh, see, when you have an army marching, right? They're marching in order, man. None of them are going to break their rank. Go ahead.
Verse 10, and Chaldea shall be a spoil, and so like all that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord, because ye were glad, because ye rejoice, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellow of bull as bulls. Your mother shall be sore and confounded.
Yeah.
She that bare you shall be ashamed.
Who bear America? That's speaking about Great Britain, right? Even they're going to be ashamed of her, man. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead. Get me that for dealing with the beast shall hate the Lord.
Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land.
What's the hindermost of the nations? The other part of in other words, the other part of the earth. This was written in the Eastern Hemisphere. This is the other part of the earth. But it's speaking of America specifically, man. That's Babylon the Great. It's going to be what? A wilderness, man. I mean, it's going to be destroyed. All right, go ahead. Read that again.
Come, behold, it's like verse 12, Jeremiah 50:12. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert.
It's going to be a desert. Okay, America was once a paradise, but the Lord is going to turn it to a desert because it's going to be completely destroyed. Okay, that's what it means, man. All right, because back then, where were they at? They were at the Eastern Hemisphere. The hindermost is what? Is America, man. Go ahead.
Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished, and hiss at all her plagues.
Yes.
Put yourselves in array against Babylon. Shoot up, sound like a roundabout. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows.
That's like they're not speaking. They're going to surround Babylon and shoot actual arrows at America. No, it's speaking about nuclear missiles, man. All right, go ahead.
For she hath sinned against the Lord. Shoot against her round about. She hath given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her, as she hath done, do unto her.
As she have done, do unto her, man. So the Lord is bringing that judgment, man. Go ahead, it's too far. Don't worry. Go ahead.
Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle and the time of harvest. For fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn every one to his people, and they shall flee every one to his own land. Israel is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. First the king of Assyria had devoured him, and last...
Listen on that. What you got?
This is the book of Joel, chapter 2 and 4. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoured the stubble, as the strong people set in battle array.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before their face, the people shall be much pained. All faces shall gather blackness.
This is a similitude speaking about the nuclear missiles, man. Okay? Go ahead. It's going to bring pain upon those people, man. Go ahead.
They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march every one on his ways. And they shall not break their ranks.
Right.
Neither shall one thrust another.
Right.
They shall walk everyone in his path.
So their missile defense system is not going to work against them. All right? And guess what? They're like 15 years behind in their missile defense system. That's through the Spirit, so that the prophecy could be established, man. Go ahead.
And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run.
So even if something hits them, even if it works, it's not gonna affect it, man. The Most High is gonna be guiding them, man. Go ahead.
They shall run to and fro in the city.
Yep.
They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows.
Imagine the missile breaking, the nuclear breaking the windows, breaking the buildings down, poof, hitting here, hitting there. But then that fire is gonna come out after that. Go ahead.
They shall enter in at the windows like a thief.
Yep.
The earth shall quake before them. The heavens.
Oh, the earth is gonna quake, right? That's that great earthquake, man. That the scriptures is the earth shall wail to and fro, whoever gets it, gets it. Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, and verse 20. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it.
So the earth, the whole planet is gonna wave to and fro like a drunkard, man. Right? So the elect can't be on the earth, period, at that time. Because even the people that's in Australia are gonna feel it, and a lot of them are gonna die from the impact, man. what I'm saying to you? Because that's going to be more than a 10 point or 11. That's going to be way off the scale that nuclear fire that's going to happen now. That earthquake that's going to happen. Okay?
And the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again.
All right, go ahead.
This is Isaiah 26 and verse 20. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee.
This is speaking about when the elect has gone up into the chariots, man. Because we're going to be off the earth at that point, man. Lord willing, give that number. You see? And we're going to go, they're going to have different rooms and chambers, man. Go ahead, the chariots are far out. You think Esau's vehicles and his homes are nice, right? The chariots are on a whole nother level. Okay, go ahead.
Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed.
That's it. Okay, and we're gonna be watching the destruction. Okay, we're gonna be looking at the destruction. All right, and seeing the reward of the people that didn't obey Yahweh. Go ahead, brother.
Revelation chapter 15 and verse 2. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High.
Well, that's it, because we're going to be looking at that destruction. All right, we're going to be able to see it. Okay, it's going to be like a movie. All right. What you got?
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 13. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger.
That's it. Got something else?
This is the book of Haggai, chapter 2 and verse 6. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, yet once it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land. And I will shake all nations, and the desire of all nations shall come, and I will fill this house with glory, saith the Lord of hosts.
That's it. That's it. It's going to shake the earth, man. The earth is going to be shaking, man. All right? You got an earthquake in one place, and an earthquake in Haiti hit, we didn't feel it over here. But that was supposed to be a big earthquake, right? Well, we didn't feel it here, but it's going to be so big, the whole earth is going to feel it, man. You understand? So I wouldn't want to be in Canada or Mexico, that's for sure. I wouldn't really want, you don't want to be on the earth, period, in that time. You got something else? Go ahead.
Joel 3 and 15. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. The Lord also shall roar out of Zion, and utter his voice from Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And the heavens and the earth shall shake, but the Lord will be the hope of his people, and the strength of the children of Israel.
That's it.
Isaiah 13 and verse 13. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place, and the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger.
That's it. All right. So that's that great earthquake from the nuclear destruction, man. All right. It's gonna move out of its place, man. You see that? Yo, these people think it's a joke, man. The Lord is not playing. It's gonna be a great, great destruction. You know, and all that pride is gonna be destroyed in that time, right? Even before that, right? When all this hell breaks loose and there's no food in the grocery store, pride is done at that time too. All right, especially for you women, man. You women gonna humble down, man. You dig? What you got, bro?
This is Isaiah 2 and verse 11. The lofty
They ain't gonna worry about if you're cheating either, man. They ain't gonna worry about it. They're gonna find you a woman if you want a woman, man. They're gonna find you some other woman. All right? Because what? There's gonna be a lack of bread, man. And what you gonna do, man, when the stores is empty? What you gonna do? Huh? You gonna shake your ass for some bread? Nah, man. That ain't enough. And them dudes are gonna take it too. Right? You got a lot of psychos out here too, man. You got a lot of dudes that's deprived and shit. They gonna take it, man. I promise you that. They gonna take it. All right. Well, that's what happened. That's what's happening in the Ukraine right now, man. Oh yeah. They're getting taken advantage of over here, man. They ain't talking about I have rights. They don't give a fuck about your rights. Them Russians don't give a fuck about your rights, man. All right? And guess what? And that time is coming here too, man. All right? They're tired of looking at the proud, the arrogant looks on their face, man. That's only because you're in a first world country, man. All right? You got damn Instagram, man. So the ugliest, fattest chick on Instagram, you get likes in inboxes, man. Go ahead, man. Read.
This is Isaiah 2.
You know, it be the East Indians, man. Them dudes are spamming up with the collar boy. Beautiful, I like sexy time. Go ahead.
Good.
Go ahead, man.
Isaiah 2.
And they think you're all hot shit.
God, Isaiah 2 and verse 11. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of man shall be bowed
So
down.
the lofty looks of man is going to be humble, man. So what's going to happen to the woman? You see? Go ahead.
And the haughtiness of man shall be bowed down, and the Lord alone shall be exalted at that day.
And the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, is going to be exalted in that day. You see what I'm saying? Because who is men going to be praising? Who are we going to be praising, man? Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. You see what I'm saying? So through us, he will be exalted, man. Go ahead.
For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon every one that is proud and lofty, and upon every one that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low.
And we can't wait, man. All right? What you got?
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 33. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The woman shall mourn, having no husbands.
Why are they going to mourn? Because first of all, there's going to be few men left. Yeah. But secondly, you're going to need a man to protect you in that day, man. That's the time we're coming to, man. So that's when reality is going to. Listen, time is on our side anyway. That's right. Reality is going to hit eventually, man. Like the elder Yashuamba says, nature's going to take its course, man. What the fuck you talking about? All this fake nonsense. Yo, this is gonna be knocked out, man. You go tell, go try that. I don't suggest any man. This at the end of the time of hollering at women. That's done.
No.
Right? The pride of the level that they're on now with Instagram and shit. Don't even holler at them, yo. Let them do their thing. Cause you gonna holler now. God, even you can holler at the fattest, ugliest yo. Right? I mean, don't do that. But I'm saying, like, you don't go for fat. But I'm just saying, like, that's how it is nowadays. Go ahead.
It says, their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine.
Right, because when the war is coming, so there's going to be a draft. All right, there's going to be a world draft because it's going to be a world war. You see that? And these Canadians don't want to fight. The average Canadian don't want to fight. The average American don't want to fight.
Record?
Huh?
I can record it.
You can record the voice or the images, but not us, because we don't know you like that yet.
All right.
No, but you can record the voice if you want.
It's because I follow those things like on my TikTok, everything, that's why.
You see what's there on your TikTok?
Yeah.
We'll give you the YouTube. We'll have the brother give that YouTube page if anything, brother. All right, so that way you can look it up for yourself, But it's not personal, It's not personal, brother. All right, go ahead, read.
This is the book of Isaiah.
He's gonna write it for you.
Oh, he's gonna write it? Okay, cool. You want to write it on my phone?
Yeah. The book of Isaiah, chapter 13 and verse 16. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives